What's up, everybody? It's Rhino Racing 4, and today I'm going to make sort of a fun video. As the date of this recording, it is July 17th. I don't know when this video is going to be put up, but I'm just going to have a little fun, basically doing early predictions for the playoffs. Some drivers already have locked themselves in, I understand. I'm just going to give you my 16-car field that will make the playoffs, and I'll go through the round of 12 and see who will advance, the round of 8 and tell you who will advance, and then to the championship 4 and decide the champion, just as sort of early predictions, kind of having fun. I'm not really good at predictions, so, we'll see how it goes during the end of the season in the playoffs. But here's my 16-car field. So it starts off with the 4 of Kevin Harvick, the 11 of Denny Hamlin, and then Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Almirola, Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Matt DiBenedetto, William Byron, Clint Bowyer, Cole Custer, and Jimmy Johnson. I think this will be the 16-car field for the playoffs. Some of these drivers already have wins, like the 4 of Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, and Cole Custer. I think Almirola will eventually get a win this season, hopefully soon. But I think Almirola will make it, whether that's a win or by points. And Kurt Busch, I think, will make it in on points. I'm not sure if he'll grab a win, but I think he'll definitely make it in on points. Kyle Busch has been quite a surprise this year, not being able to run up front consistently. I think he'll make it definitely in on points, if that's all that he has to go off of. I don't know if he'll win. I mean, I think it's just going to take one race, and then Kyle Busch is just going to be on from then. Matt DiBenedetto, I think he's going to make it on points. I don't think he's going to win a race, but I think he'll definitely make it in on points. William Byron as well, I think will make it in on points. Bowyer might win. I'm not sure. I think he'll just make it in on points. And Jimmy Johnson, I think, will make it in on points. He might win. I think, he's had plenty of opportunity this year. Just hasn't been able to close the deal. So that's the 16-car field that will be for the first race of the playoffs. So the first race of the playoffs is going to be held at Darlington Raceway. So, I'm not going to give you predictions on who will win each race, but I will tell you who will make it to the next round. So, moving on to the round of 12 is Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Almirola, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Clint Bowyer, and Jimmy Johnson. Therefore, the 4 being eliminated in the round of 16 is the 88 of Alex Bowman, the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto, the 24 of William Byron, and the 41 of Cole Custer. So, reasonings on these 4 drivers. For the first one, I think Cole Custer will be the first one eliminated. Cole Custer, it's just, yes, he got a win this year, but I think it was just, I think the seas kind of split for him. And, yes, he had a fast car that day, but I don't think it was basically, he didn't go out there and dominate the race and win. He just hasn't had the level of consistency that, some of these other drivers have had. I don't think that with not as much experience in a Cup car, I think Cole Custer will be eliminated. William Byron, his consistency it hasn't been there. He'll have a couple great weeks, and then he'll have a couple bad weeks, and, in the playoffs, you really can't have bad weeks, Matt DiBenedetto, I think Matt DiBenedetto has had a lot of success this year. I mean, absolutely amazing. I don't think that he has enough speed to keep up with the others, and if he has one bad thing, he doesn't have a bunch of playoff points set aside, and stuff like this. I think if he has one bad week in the beginning of the playoffs at Darlington, Richmond, or Bristol, I think it's definitely going to be tough for him to regain that. So I don't think that Matt DiBenedetto has the speed to make it past first round. Bowman has just not. He was really fast during the beginning of the season, but once we came basically after the break, when we came back, yes, he's finished second at the first Darlington race, but after that point, Bowman really hasn't been a contender for wins. He's had some really bad weeks. It's just the speed has not been there for Bowman in the 88 team. So I think Bowman's playoff hopes ends at Bristol in the first round. Entering the second round of the playoffs, we head to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 12 drivers are here, the 4 of Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Almirola, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Clint Bowyer, and Jimmy Johnson. This round is really going to be hard to predict because we basically have 2 wildcard races in this round, being Talladega Superspeedway and the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval course. So it's really hard to determine. I think the Roval is easier to predict now that we've been there a couple times. In 2018, it was the first time it was there. It was considered the biggest wild card in the entire playoffs. I think that title still now belongs to Talladega once again. Now that we've raced at the Roval twice, drivers have experience with it, I think it's easier to judge that now. I still think, regardless of the fact that we have 2 wild cards in there, I think Kevin Harvick will still advance. I think Denny Hamlin will still advance. I think Chase Elliott will still advance. I think Ryan Blaney will advance. I think Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Almirola, and Joey Logano will be the last 4 to make it to the round of 8, meaning Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Clint Bowyer, and Jimmy Johnson will be eliminated. Kurt Busch, I think, has been more consistent as of lately, but I don't think it's consistent enough to make it to the round of 8. Remember last year, Kurt Busch, did not make it past the first round of the playoffs. Yes, that's because of a blown tire at Las Vegas, but if that's the type of consistency that he has, where he's just 1 week on, 1 week off, where it's just you can't have that in the playoffs, I think Kurt Busch is going to be eliminated. Kyle Busch has just not been himself this year. We just can't seem to find Kyle Busch where he's gone. And if he doesn't kick it in gear, he's not going to make it past the round of 12. I think he will be eliminated. And if he gets caught up in a wreck at Talladega and he can't come back to win at Charlotte Roval, then I think that Kyle Busch, his title defense will come to an end at the Charlotte Roval. The other 2 being eliminated, the 14 of Clint Bowyer, I just don't think that he's had enough speed this year. He did have a lot of speed in 2018, won a couple races, made it to the round of 8. I don't think he will be making it to the round of 8 in 2020. Jimmy Johnson has been consistent this year, more consistent than he was last year, very much so. And I think he will make it past the first round, like I said, but I don't think making it past the second round is going to be Johnson's hopes, or fate, rather, should I say. Alright, the round of 8. That means we are headed to Kansas Motor Speedway, Texas Motor Speedway, and Martinsville Speedway for the round of 8. So the first track, Kansas Speedway. I think Harvick and Logano are probably the 2 best drivers at that specific track right now. But I do not think it's going to be enough for Logano to capitalize. I think Logano will be eliminated from the round of 8. He will not advance to the championship 4. We haven't seen the speed out of the 22 car since we pretty much came back from the break for COVID-19. He won 2 races at the beginning of the season, 2 of the first 4, but the speed has just fallen off a cliff for the 22 team. They have been inconsistent, out of the top 10 regularly. I just don't see Logano making it to the round of 8, or the championship 4, rather. The second driver that I see being eliminated in the round of 8 is the 10 of Aric Almirola. Yes, he's had lots of speed, but you can't keep that speed forever, and if you're going to make it to the championship 4, most likely you're going to need a win somewhere along late in those playoffs, and I don't see Almirola winning 2 races this year. He'll probably win one here in the late regular season. I don't think he's going to win 2 in a year. I just don't see that out of the 10 car. So Almirola is being eliminated. Another one that's probably surprising is the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. just has not had the speed, the consistency this year. Yes, he's had some great runs. He finished 3rd at Atlanta. He won Martinsville. Finished 2nd at Kentucky. So yes, he's had some great finishes. They're heading in the right direction, but right now I think it's just too inconsistent, that team is, to make it to the championship 4 for Martin Truex Jr. The last one that I see being eliminated is the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, he's been great this season. He's had a win at Talladega, but I don't think he has the speed to make it to the championship 4. That means your championship 4 is Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, and Brad Keselowski. Let's start off first with Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick, the points leader currently at the moment. He's been strong all season, especially since we came back from the break. I think he took over the points lead after Phoenix, which was right before the break. We came back, he won Darlington. He's won 3 races since Darlington. He's just been consistent. He's led the points. He's up there leading laps, winning stages. It's just been a good year for Harvick so far. I think that he will actually win at Texas Motor Speedway to lock himself in. Denny Hamlin, I think Denny Hamlin has a chance of winning at either Kansas, Texas, or Martinsville. He's great at all of those tracks. If I were to pick one, I would probably think Kansas, since he did win there last year in the playoffs. Denny Hamlin has had a very consistent year as well. These last few finishes have been outside the top 10 at Indianapolis and Kentucky. So, Hamlin's kind of been a little bit off his game lately, but I think that definitely he'll pick it right back up. He has 4 wins on the season at the current moment. I think Hamlin's going to make the championship 4 by winning at Kansas to lock himself into the championship 4. That leaves me with Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski. And Brad Keselowski might seem a little bit of a surprise, but Keselowski has been very, very consistent at the current moment. He is sitting 2nd in the point standings. He has 2 wins to his name. He's just, week in and week out, he is very consistent, the most consistent out of the 3 Team Penske cars. I think Brad Keselowski is going to make it to the championship 4. I'm not sure if it's going to be with a win or on points, but it's pretty much going to be a dogfight between Elliott and Keselowski for that Martinsville win. Both of them were fighting for it last year in the spring. Keselowski got the better of Elliott, but I think Elliott has been kind of off his game. Yes, he won the All-Star race, but that wasn't a points-paying race, so it doesn't really matter with regards to making the playoffs and whatnot. But Elliott, I think he will find his game when we get to the playoffs. I think he's going to go all the way to Phoenix. He will not win the championship, neither Keselowski, so it's going to be between Harvick and Hamlin for the title. I know this seems biased, but I think it's going to go to Harvick. The championship will. at Phoenix. Why? He has 9 career wins at Phoenix. He knows how to get around the track, and if he needs to win a race to win the championship at Phoenix, his team can get it done. Yes, Hamlin has a couple wins there in his career. I just don't think he has enough wins or consistency at that track to be able to win the championship at Phoenix. If the championship was being held at Miami, I would say the title goes to Hamlin. But because it's being held at Phoenix, I think you have to give it to Harvick. So there you have it, guys. Those are my playoff predictions, my early playoff predictions. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, what round by round if you want to, or just tell me who's going to win the championship. It doesn't matter, but let's see how I do heading into the playoffs. I know this is a little early, but I'm going to have some fun at seeing how I do. Thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not. I've noticed that a lot of my views come from non-subscribed YouTubers, so hit that subscribe button. Almost to 100, so let's get there. Once again, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.